Hi, my name's Tatiana Levinson. I'm doing the course in analyzing the financial statement, and today I'm going to talk about the current economic crisis that was initially caused by coronavirus pandemic. But first off, I think there is more to that than just the pandemic, because some other events have occurred in this time that have led to some deepening and worsening consequences. As I'm a Russian citizen, I'd like to talk about my country first. So, for Russia, the coronavirus pandemic was worsened by fluctuations in the oil prices. So, Russia's economy is heavily based on natural resources. So, once there are any fluctuations in that, Russian economic is influenced heavily. So the price for the barrel of oil was affected by the decisions made at OPEC conference, and therefore the Russian ruble has immediately felt in price. So for now, now is the 20th of March 2020. Russian ruble is very unstable, and so the price of euro for Russians and those possessing Russian ruble is very. Next, we need to move on to the direct effects of coronavirus pandemic. So, for Russia now, there are some changes in the ruling class. So, President Vladimir Putin is trying to make amendments to constitution. And of course, there's a need to make a referendum for the country to approve it. Though there's a poll coming for the whole country for everyone to participate if people are approving those amendments. And those amendments are basically if whether or not people are okay with Vladimir Putin. A poll coming for the whole country for everyone to participate if people are approving those amendments. And those amendments are basically if whether or not people are okay with Vladimir Putin taking another term and making his current term of ruling as a president for 20 years to null. So with the coronavirus situation happening, there's a need to postpone or cancel this poll and this referendum. It was supposed to be held on the 22nd of March, so 2 days from now. And now the situation is not stable, and therefore it affects the reputation of Vladimir Putin himself, his cabinet that was recently renewed, and the stability of Russia as a country, and Russian ruble as a value holder. Moreover, coronavirus is directly influencing not only medical and pharmaceutical industries, but all of the industries. As Russia is slowly coming to the realization that economic slowdown is needed, the companies and organizations are starting to shut down. So they're trying to find a way for their employees to work remotely. And unfortunately, currently there are no arrangements for that, causing all kinds of difficulties. So there is a rise in the IT sector because they're trying to find the solutions for all the companies to take their workers from their job place to their home and try to give them access to databases and all that. But some of the industries are just not going. Some industries, which are entertainment industries like cinema and theatre, have no other way but to close down. And while many of the Russian cultural enterprises are funded by the government and therefore are going to be supported, there's still some private sector theaters and independent cinemas and all that. So they are probably going to be on the low for this period because they're not going to receive any funding from the public as they usually do. So there's a very heavy situation for those people because many of the cultural workers also work on freelance. So the government will most likely need to fund them and help them just stay alive. Also, there's definitely a rise in pharmaceutical industry, but actually the demand for such things as face masks and sanitizers is not satisfied at the moment because the capacity is not that high, and the demand for some very alike items that are trying to help people stay healthy is very high at the moment. Also, some grocery stores are struggling because people are buying non-perishable foods, and so shops are running out. But such big conglomerates as Lenta and Magnet, which are like the most powerful grocery stores in Russia, are trying to meet this demand. So actually, the economic situation in Russia is quite stable now, and it's good compared to the rest of the world. For the future consequences, unfortunately, in my point of view, some of the entertainment industries and some of the independent theaters and cinema productions are going to be closed because now not going to receive fundings, and there's very high risk that they're not going to be able to stay alive and pay their bills. While I hope once the poll is done and once there's either a change in the ruling class or Putin's place is secured, Russia's going to become more stable than now.